All right. So welcome to our Tuesday night training call, and tonight is all about the close. I'll cover the mindset of the close, and my beautiful business partner, Esther Armata, she is a Pro 4 based in Canada. She's going to cover the skill set of the close. So this is a new format for us, and I'm just loving mixing it up that little bit and keeping everybody engaged on the other end of the line. A big welcome to our new team members for February so far. That would be Elise McDonald, Isabel Ting, Kylie Garan, Lisa Livingston, Courtney Barnett, Dean Harlow, Wana Williamson, and Rebecca Lee. Awesome to have you join us, and I think it's undoubtable we are in the right place at the right time. I look forward to seeing your success. So a big reminder for everybody. We have got amazing webinars being held for the whole month of February. So on Wednesday mornings, Wednesday evenings, and Saturday mornings, we've got some sensational webinars happening. And please make sure that we are inviting maximum guests for that webinar, and also to have yourself on there. Make sure that you don't miss out. I know that mornings can be hectic, got school drop-offs and things like that. So set a reminder, put an alarm in your phone so that you have a reminder set for 10 minutes before that webinar so you just don't miss anything that's going on. Heads up, we have an upcoming LV tour in April. The dates and details are yet to be confirmed, but we know that this business is built from event to event. So it's absolutely crucial we keep that in mind, to be aware of what's coming up, and also let our teams be aware of what's coming up too. So let's get into the training. The close mindset and strategies to implement for success. So the close is a simple process, but really scary for some people. It's important to close with finesse to avoid being clunky and awkward, and ideally to do it in a way where people don't realize they're being closed. You'll be bad before you're good and good before you're great. It's a process. Nobody starts perfect right out of the gate, but you can't let fear hold you back. You have to feel the fear and just do it anyway. We know that network marketing is 99% mindset and 1% mechanics. So it's essential that you get your head right. Your attitude determines your altitude in this business. So let's get into some of the ways that not having the right mindset can affect your ability to close. So here's a scenario. And I know a lot of my team members have mentioned having this same scenario. You have been sharing like crazy. You've got so many irons in the fire, and you get to the point where you should be able to close people and you're having a really hard time because nobody's ready to come to that decision yet. It's usually because of one or more of the following factors. Number one, you're making this about you. Guess what? This business is not about you. If you're afraid to call someone, if you're afraid of the no's, it's because you're making it about you. People fear rejection, but they make it personal, and this is not personal. A no isn't a no forever. A no is it's not the right time right now. I can't financially afford it right now. I've got a lot going on right now. It's just not the right time for some people. You've got to learn to be unattached to the outcome. You'll have to go through the numbers. We're looking for people who see it, they get it, and they're hungry for it. That's who we're looking for. If someone says no, thank them. Thanks for looking at that info, and ask them, can I update you in the future? Would it be okay to stay in contact? In a couple of months, I'll just give you an update on where things are at. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes, of course, no problems, because there's no pushing and there's no controlling in that situation. The other thing you can do is ask them for a referral. So if they say no, ask them, is there anybody else that you know who would like to look better, feel better, or perform better? Who could say no to that? All right, so think back. I want you guys to just put yourself into a situation where you've presented the information to someone on your database. And this was someone that you felt sure was definitely going to do the business or become a customer. You were like certain that they were going to do it, but they said no. Can you all remember how that felt, that soul-crushing feeling? You were completely affected and bothered by that, chances are. Now, project yourself into the future. Pretend that you're a Pro 10 with like tens of thousands of people in your team, and you've got a huge monthly volume going through your business. You're being paid massive residual income. Say you put yourself back into that same situation, you present that information. How are you going to feel at the end if they say no. You see, it's not going to affect or bother you in the same way. And the scenarios are different because when you're new, part of your invite, follow-up, resolving concerns and close process is still for you. That's natural, it's what happens. But in the second scenario, you take yourself out of the equation. It's not about you anymore. It's all about the person right there in front of you. So I often tell people, listen, I'm not attached to the outcome of this, but I know what this product and this business can do for you. We talk about the benefit for the person that we're sharing with because the business isn't about us. If you identify as struggling with this concept, one strategy that you can implement is that before you call someone, pretend like you already have thousands of people in your downline. Seriously, if you take this simple mindset tweak and you do it properly, if you can really put yourself into a situation where you can imagine having that many people, your posture changes and the way that you feel and speak on the call will change. That's going to get you better results and it's going to have you closing with more people. Number 2, you lack posture, confidence, or 110% conviction. Your signal, guys, it has to be higher than the person standing right there in front of you. Well, what does that mean, you ask? Well, your energy, your posture, your belief, your commitment, your confidence. Every ounce of these are vital components and they're conveyed in the way that you hold yourself, the way you speak and the excitement or that lack thereof that you convey in the conversation. Your eyes are literally like windows to your soul and people know it. Like they feel it when you aren't 110% all in. Competence breeds confidence. And confidence is the key to great posture and the ability to show up convicted and full of belief. So there are 4 pillars which are an essential foundation for the correct mindset in this business. You must have maximum belief in our products, in the company, in the industry, and most importantly, yourself. If you lack belief or confidence in any of these areas, go out and find help or the info that you need to change that. Awareness is key. If you want to make it in this business, you have to treat it like a business. Be a professional. Read the bloody map. We have a blueprint for success. You have access to theprovenplan.com, where you'll find our company elites have recordings on all aspects of the blueprint. You have access to the distributor training section on our team website. There are no excuses. This is your business. Take ownership, take charge. Find a way to plug into training materials, webinar replays, the recorded proven plan system, or some personal development each and every day. Heck, make your car a rolling university. By doing this, you'll become more confident and have higher belief in all aspects of your business. Number 3, you're trying to convince people. Oh my God, that's a salesman mindset. We aren't in the business of sales. We're in the business of educating people. Give enough info for them to make an informed decision and respect whatever decision they make. For those of you with a fear of being pushy, this one's for you. We are not out to get people. Oh my goodness, please, please, please remove that word from your vocabulary. This is really, really important because words matter far more than you realize. We're the messenger, not the message. Use the tools that we have to say the same thing every single time because they duplicate. The only role that you have is to connect people you know with the information that you know will benefit their life. Now, here's the key. If they understand the benefit and they believe that they will benefit from it, that's when you are more likely to make a positive decision. But it's information and education, not convincing and coercion. There's a big difference. So this is definitely not being pushy or nagging people. So if you conduct yourself in your business from a place of what this can do for others, and if you grasp the concept of supplying valuable information versus convincing, then you can remove that fear of being pushy or nagging. Another way to alleviate that fear is to let your prospects off the hook from the start by saying, this may or may not be for you, but I'll give you all the info you need to make a decision. In that instance, you've completely taken the pressure off. There is no expectation. All they need to do is look at and review the information, and this is ideal. This is exactly how you want to function in your business. Number 4, you're trying to do the invite, follow-up, resolving concerns, and close all by yourself with no third-party validation. Oh my goodness. How many times I've seen this. You know what, guys, no matter how good you are, you may get 1 or 2 people doing this, but you will not build a huge team in this way. And what you do, good or bad, will duplicate through your business. It is absolutely essential to use third-party validation. You can do that by using 3-way calls, in-home meetings, presentations, webinars, whatever you choose is fine, but use third-party validation. Number 5, you haven't accepted you're actually in network marketing. Network marketing still has a stigma attached to it in the minds of some people, and one of them may actually be you. You may be holding a subconscious belief about the industry and being a part of it, which is holding you back. Or you may have fears about what other people will think about you being in this industry. The fear of loss of esteem from ignorant people is a real thing, and it can hold you back in a big way. So how can you have posture, be full of confidence, and 100% all in if you have these deep-seated fears of what others will think of you? You have to find a way to stand proudly, to stand tall, to be committed to the path you've chosen. Don't be afraid of proudly representing this industry or our company. Look at your teammates and the leadership, not just in Australia, but globally. We attract, quite honestly, some of the best people that I know. There is so much to the mindset for the close, and it's not possible to cover it all in one short training session. And much of the information that we talk about on mindset crosses into other aspects of the proven plan, our blueprint for success, because they're fundamental mindset skills for success in this industry in general. But in summary, personal development is crucial for this business. We need to be aware of who we are and how we operate, because awareness is key to change. Every action we take or don't take stems from either a basis of fear or love. The things that hold us back in the process of closing stem from fear. A fear of nagging people, the fear of being pushy, the fear of rejection. As you learn and grow in this industry, you'll find that this business is based on love, and those who give the most value to others are the ones who succeed. Take a moment to look at the products we have and the way they change people's lives for the better. Look at the company we're with and the way the compensation plan is structured to benefit everyone throughout the ranks. Look at the beautiful people this business attracts, the kind, generous people who lift others up and empower them to be their best. This business isn't about you, and it isn't about fear. It's about everyone you know and are yet to meet. It's about a transfer of information. It's about competence in your delivery. And it's about conducting your business from a place of love for others and wanting to give value. When you commit to being a professional, when you reflect on the points listed above and build and apply these mindset strategies to your business, you will gain the confidence, posture, and belief you need to excel at the close. It doesn't matter how great you are at presenting, or how well you know the products, the comp plan, or the science. If you want success in network marketing, getting good at the close is not optional. You must learn this skill. So now, with extreme pleasure, I will hand you over to Esther Armata for the second half of tonight's training, which covers the skill set of the close. But before I invite Esther on, I'd love to share a little bit about her with you. Esther is first and foremost one of the most beautiful, kind-hearted, and amazing people I have the privilege to call not only a business partner, but also a friend. She's a mum of 2 gorgeous children, a wife, and she holds qualifications in online marketing. She joined the business back in May last year, and in just 6 short months has qualified as a Pro 4, which is a brilliant achievement. Welcome to the Zoom, Esther.
Oh my gosh. Lisa, thank you for that amazing introduction. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, guys. So I just want to talk about the skill set in closing, and these are just some of the things that I've learned along the way that's helped me so far. And of course, as always, I'm always still learning, right? But I wanted to start off with your belief in this business, right? So it has to be rock solid, right? Because without that belief, you'll have a difficult time closing because it'll come through in your voice, it'll come through in your tone and body language, right? So, for example, imagine if your best friend came up to you and called you and said, "Hey girl, listen, I read this article and it said that the grass isn't green." You would look at her and think to yourself, "What? Of course not. Of course it is. What are you talking about?" So that's what I mean. I mean, your belief has to be that rock solid so that if someone were to come up to you about LifeVantage and say something negative, you would dismiss them right away, right? We know how amazing the products are, how our culture and company, it's basically second to none. So just know that going in. And as Lisa was mentioning, just to add in addition to what she was mentioning in regards to third-party tools, have the tool work for you, right? So some of us market on social media and, we're branding ourselves, but there's many people that aren't using Facebook or social media that are just doing it the old school belly to belly way, right? Because that's what's worked. And many of our elites have gotten into the elite ranks that way, right? So you don't necessarily need your brand charisma or persuasion to close a sale. Use the third-party tools that anyone can use. Like Lisa said, remember, you're the messenger, not the message. And I've been guilty of it. I remember in this business when I first started of that whole verbal diarrhea about the oxidative stress and free radicals, because you're so excited about the business, right? But you just have to rely on tools. Get them to a meeting that they can invite people to, or show them a video. You can, if you're on Facebook, you can add them to a Facebook group. That is what is simple and duplicatable, right? Because most people, they don't want to do a presentation. They would rather point to a tool. And one of the things that I get is people ask me all the time, like, "I can't do what you can do." But when I show people that all I do is be the point person and point them to a presentation, video, add people to a Facebook group, their reaction is, "Oh, okay, so that's all you do?" And yes, that's all we do. We just want to keep it simple. You have to get people to believe that they can do it too. And our biggest sale necessarily isn't in the fast start kits. It's being able to duplicate yourself, right? So you're building depth within your organization. Find out if they're open to taking a look at what you're doing, or if they're open to taking the product, and or both the opportunity, right? So you're basically selling the thing that sells the thing. So what does that mean? I have this short video that'll explain it much better than I can. So I'm not selling the opportunity, I'm selling the video. Watch the video, get to the meeting, get to the opportunity, get on the webinar. So I'm selling the thing that sells the thing. And if they're open to watching the video, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. Like Lisa said, we're not in the convincing business, we're in the sorting business, right? There are some people that are out there that are either praying for this product, praying for this business, and or both. And I have to tell you that I was one of them. Unfortunately, nobody told me about LifeVantage, and I wish someone had told me about this product and opportunity years ago, but I had to find this out for myself, right? So if they're not open, what you can always do is ask them for a referral and ask them if they know someone who wants to make extra money and or use a product, right? So just always just keep on going, keep your funnel full, and move on. And a lot of times people, they're not open to hearing about it due to timing. So it's so important to just plant the seed and always follow up. It's a numbers game, guys, right? We all know that. there's a story that I heard at our recent Elite Academy, and it had to do with follow-ups. So Tara Wilson, the Pro9, she was talking about her best friend of 25 years and how she had told her about this business roughly about 8 years ago. And when she told her best friend was excited. She went home, spoke to her husband, and her husband said, "Oh, is that one of those pyramid schemes where you make money off your friends and family?" So the next day she told Tara, "No, I'm not interested." And, fast forward 8 years later, of course, she followed Tara on Facebook, followed all of her posts, and heard about the little yellow pill. And she was suffering, I think it was from migraines at the time. And so years later, she said, "Do you think that little yellow pill will work for me?" And Tara said, "You know what? Maybe. There's no guarantees, but it's worth a shot." It did work for her. And that's when she realized that she wanted to do this business. She had profound experience. She decided to sell her business. And now she's a Pro 7 in Tara's business, right? So the money is in the follow-up. And just to add upon what I was saying in terms of timing, she was also talking about, if I had gotten into the business 8 years ago with Tara Wilson, I'm not sure that I would have done as well as I did, because she spent all that time in her offline business, which was like a traditional brick and mortar business, developing those relationships so that when she was ready, timing, she had this large network that trusted her. And so again, it's all about timing, right? And so after sending the video, or if they attend a meeting or an event, I typically ask them, can I follow up with you, 2:00 or this time tomorrow morning? And if they say, no, that's not a good time, I always find out a date and a time to follow up with them to see if they had watched the tool or if they had any questions. And you always want to ask them what they like best, right? So let them lead. So if they say something like, wow, does that product really do what it says it does? Or I say yes, and I lead with that, because by them asking questions, where their interest lies, right? Or they may say, I read online that your opportunity is a pyramid scheme. So ideally what you want to do is, even if you've built your relationship over Facebook, you want to get them on a phone call or on a Zoom. That way you can squash those rejections or answer any questions right away. And so recently, a person that I was talking to about the business said that her husband had Googled LifeVantage online and that it was a pyramid scheme, right? And unfortunately, network marketing, many people still have that mindset that it's a pyramid scheme. And we know that for the most part, it's not. There are good and bad organizations, but there's good and bad everything, no matter what industry that you're in, right? So unfortunately, the bad ones make it tough for us. But I went to that article and I read that article, and, it talked about how all of our sales, I think it was something like all of our sales are from our distributors. Well, you know what? Actually, 85% of our sales are actually from customers, right? So things like that, you'll be able to address right away. They could say, I've had people say things like, oh my gosh, NFR1, NFR2, it's way too expensive. In Canada, with tax and shipping, you're looking at about $130. And so typically, if someone is looking at the product, most of the time it's because they have a health issue that's been with them for a while, right? So I break it down for them and I say, okay, $130 divided by 30 days, that equals to about $4.30 a day. Is it worth a shot to have better health, right? And most people, I spend $5 a day on a latte. So when you can break it down into terms like that, where people can say to themselves, oh yeah, okay, so you're right. Again, you're addressing those problems right away. I've also had people say to me, you know what, I'm way too busy to do the business, right? And when the fact is that 95% or 99%, most of the people that join this business do it as a part-time business, and they do it in the nooks and crannies of their life. You could also explain the concept of residual income. Are you getting paid for the work that you did yesterday? And give them some facts. I mean, I know for Canada, 72% of Canadians have little to no retirement savings. So we know that the 40-40 plan doesn't work. So give them some food for thought, something to think about. Like, what are you doing to cover your little nest egg, right? So when you're ready to retire, right? I think it's just really important to ask, questions, right? So find out their pain points. If, for example, if they want to spend more time with the kids, you can say something like, if I could show you a way to spend more time with your children, would you be open to taking a look at what I'm doing? And so after chatting on the phone with them or a Zoom, if you feel the conversation is positive, you just have to ask and be direct, right? There's that saying, if you don't ask, you don't get, right? So some of the questions that you could ask or my two favorite actually are, if you're not sure if they're interested in just the product and or the business or both, if you're not sure, but it sounds positive, I typically say, how do you see yourself getting involved with LifeVantage? And, but my favorite is based on what you're saying, sounds to me like you're ready to join. Don't say anything after that. If you say anything after that, I don't care if it's 5 minutes or an hour, wait till that person speaks next, right? And it's all about your tone of voice. So if you say it like, sounds to me like you're ready to join, that tone of voice is really unsure. For me, it's all about that tone of voice, and that time will be the time where they'll have either the last objections, or it's a psychology thing. If I say, sounds, based on what you're saying, sounds to me like you're ready to join, they'll think to themselves, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And you can go in for the close and get them signed up. So that's what I have for you today. Guys, does anyone have any sort of questions at all or anything to add? No?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I just wanted to know what everyone's first things are that they're sharing, because I have different people in different aspects, different areas, like athletes. I created like a little PDF with all the things that I wanted to look at being an athlete, with like the ABC video, the research and science link, the list of athletes who I had known were on it, and some athlete interviews. And I'm wondering if there was one thing, what would that be? Because I feel like for athletes, it's going to be different to people with, say, skin conditions.
Right. And and guys, anyone can jump in here, but I was always taught that we always start with the ABC video. All of the elites, when they first started, they built their business on the one bottle of Protandim, of the NFR2, and that ABC video. And so whatever you decide to send next, you can cater to whoever you're speaking to, whatever you think resonates with them, but start with that ABC video, because that's the third-party validation. It's not, there are network marketing companies that would love to have that kind of third-party validation, and that just doesn't exist, right? So yeah, I don't know if anyone else has anything to add to that.
No, absolutely, 100% agree with that, Esther. The ABC, I know that we've had some people feeling that it's old and feeling like it's outdated. It's all about how you set it up with the ABC. So you guys need to understand, like, that's where we began, and we have come such a long way. But that video, it's a positive primetime report, which like never happens. You do like, they're like our 60 Minutes or a current affair. They go out to get the meat. They go out there to like create controversy. And they did that with the ABC because we know our research shows that we reduce oxidative stress 40% in 30 days. They only gave us 2 weeks. So they were hoping that in that 2 weeks, they wouldn't see the same reduction. They could say, well, this is what the company claims, but this is what we found. Well, John Kionis's oxidative stress was reduced 45% in that time. So that is really, really powerful for us. And it's a very good basic entry-level way of most people being able to understand what our product does. So for you, Chloe, if you were to set the ABC up correctly when you share it, but letting anyone in the athletic community know that this is just for your understanding, this is where we began. What I've got for you after that is a whole heap of, niche specific information, which I'll start sharing with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much.
And you know what? I mean, the ABC video, it is old, but it's science. Science is science, right? And one of the tools that I love using is, I don't know, I can definitely send it to you guys, is it's a 4-minute video by Dr. Arthur Lupshaw. And he explains what NFR2 is. And then he has another separate 7-minute video by Dr. Kelly and Arthur Lupshaw. I don't know. I hope I'm pronouncing their name right. And they explain what NFR1 is. So they're 2 concise videos. After watching that ABC, if they're like, okay, well, if they want more information, it's in a digestible format so that they don't necessarily have to watch the presentation yet. Because it could be something like, okay, well, if you want to invite them to a webinar, ABC video, boom, what is NFR2? What is NFR1? Do you want to watch this presentation, or are you willing, or, come to this webinar, etc.
Yeah.
Thanks, Esther. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Anybody else got anything they'd like to cover on the close before we wrap up for tonight? No? Okay, I'm going to stop the recording there.